when you wrote your very public Facebook post, just how sensitive those words were going to be. I don't have the energy to talk about the racial violence of white people. Most of you refuse to acknowledge your existence, privilege and success as a race is built on the backs, blood and death of people of colour. Do you think that all white people are racist?
I don't think that all white people are by nature racist. From conception to birth, I think that we are all the same. But we need to speak about how we're socialised as a people. And my post was based on socialisation and racism as a structure. I think as a society, we're taught certain things. We're taught that men are superior to women. We're taught that women are meant to be submissive. We're told that gay people are meant to be ashamed of their sexuality. But it doesn't mean that this is how things need to be.
Do you think all people, all white people are responsible for that or believe that? Or
I don't think that all white people believe it, no. I think that there is cases, well, I mean, there's loads of allies. I mean, you don't need to think this way. And it takes actively dismantling racism to be an ally, because if you're not doing anything, then how are you helping racism?
So you said, when you explained about this, you said white people are racist due to socialisation in the same way that men are socialised to be sexist and heterosexual people are socialised to be homophobic. So yes. I'm a white, straight male guy.
It's not about you.
So basically, I'm like enemy number one. So I'm a racist, sexist, homophobe by your logic.
Sexist, yes. But
I'm not sexist.
Some of the things
and I'm not racist, and I'm not a homophobe. So who are you, with the greatest of respect to you, who are you to say that every straight white guy in the world is a... Well, you did. You said white people are racist due to socialisation in the same way that men are socialised to be sexist, heterosexual people are socialised to be homophobic. You are calling...
I mean, you know, Peter... sorry, I was going to call him Peterson. Piers, right, is just reading what this person has said. That's it, right? So you did say it, and you were caught, and I actually like Piers's stance, right? And it's not that I have anything against, of course, you know, people that are trans, absolutely not, right? But express how you want to express, do what you want to do, for sure. But when you come and you try to push your ideas and your ideals on other people, right? That's when I have a problem, right? You can again, you could advocate, you could, you know, protest, you could whatever, but no, don't say that. Back to the video.
Straight white guys like me, a series of offensive, stereotypical labels, which I find very offensive.
Okay, this is why there's a problem, because you're taking it personally.
There is a problem. I am taking it personally. Yes.
It isn't about you,
when you say
Piers.
all white people are racist, as a white person, I find that offensive.
Please let me speak instead of speaking over me.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so basically, instead of taking it personally, please think about how to be part of the solution.
Why don't you think about being part of the solution?
I am part of the solution.
You're not.
You. It says all white people. Piers is white. Of course, he's gonna take it personal. That's common sense. Back to the video. It's like, don't take it. It's like saying all black people are evil, right? Or all black people, whatever, right? And it's, of course, I'm going to take it personal. You said all black. Back to the video.
Causing more division.
I'm not causing more division.
You're basically causing more division.
Piers, by speaking
by telling all white people they're racist.
Let me speak. By talking about racism is not causing divide. There's a divide anyway. We need to be speaking about what the root of racism, what the root of sexism is. And sexism doesn't come from women. So of course it's caused by men. This is a social construct.
You don't think women can be sexist?
I don't think that women can enforce misogyny.
What a load of nonsense.
No, because it's all...
You don't think any women can be
women
sexist?
Don't uphold the patriarchy, Piers. That is not the case.
What?
The patriarchy.
What's that?
You don't know what the patriarchy is.
I do, but explain it.
The patriarchy is basically a structure that puts men at the top of power. So it's not women that enforce the patriarchy, because women don't have anything to...
The 5 most powerful people in this country currently are women. How does that sit with your patriarchy? They are.
You're saying that the patriarchy doesn't exist?
I'm saying the 5 most powerful people in Britain are women. So this idea that men still rule the entire planet and are these evil creatures to be removed from power doesn't really stack up with the facts.
Piers, but the patriarchy exists.
My point about this is...
Okay, so she's not even taking in what he's saying. She's not rebuttaling it, right? She just keeps going back to her point. So you're saying the patriarchy doesn't exist. So you're saying the patriarchy doesn't exist. It's like, no, that's not what he's saying. He's giving you the facts, right? The most powerful people, I think, across the pond, right? Because I live in the US, are women, right? Just giving you the facts. That's all. Take it in and rebuttal that point. But don't try to do an answer with an answer, question with a question. Back to the video.
Of course, there are serious debates to be had about racism, but my God, the world has moved and moved fast from where it used to be.
You are part of the problem. If you
I'm
think
not part of the problem.
You are part of the problem, Piers, because you are denying my lived experience.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not denying you anything.
You're speaking over me, for one.
Well, no. Now you're playing your old trick of being the victim. And you played that you immediately came out after you were fired with all the stuff about all the insults you've had and so on and so on. Of course you're going to get insulted. I don't agree with the way they've insulted you, but when you call every white person racist and say we're all in...
My mother's
Well,
white.
I was going to ask...
But when you say, I don't have the energy to talk about the racial violence of white people anymore, yes, all white people, when you call us a bunch of violent racists,
Where does slavery come from?
All of us, we are going to get annoyed.
Yeah, of course. But look at the responses that I've got. How dare you call us racist, you black? How dare you call us racist? Go back to the truth.
You can all, of course,
People don't know what racism is. We're not taught about racism. No, Piers, let me speak.
You can find abusive responses.
I came in here to speak. I came in here to speak.
You did. And I came in, I also wanted you in here so that I could look you in the eye and say, I think what you said was...
So you're making it about you, Piers?
No, well, it's my show. Along with Susanna.
Okay, why don't you just sit here and talk for 5 minutes then, and I just
Munro,
You've done plenty of talking, Munro.
Oh my goodness. Drop in the comment section what you think. I'm gonna leave this one to y'all. Drop in the comment section who's right, who's wrong.
Watching your interviews, I want you to explain why we shouldn't be offended as white people by your sentence that all white people are party to racial violence.
Because socialization has placed all white people in a certain privilege that means that if you are not dismantling racism or helping to dismantle racism, then you are part of the problem, because that makes you complicit. You need to actively work with people of colour to put diversity, which this campaign was about, into place. And when L'Oreal fires me for speaking about the origins of racism, then that goes completely against what diversity is, because the reason why we need diversity is because we have racism.
You don't think any white people on the planet are currently doing what you've just suggested?
I didn't say that.
By implication, when you say all white people, that is what you're saying.
I'm talking about a structure that all white people sit on. I'm talking about society. I'm not talking about literally every single white person. I'm talking about society, and all white people exist within that structure.
Do you regret the form of words that... You know, well, I'm asking if you regret the form of words because of the way...
No, I don't regret the form of words. I mean, I'm an activist, and at the end of the day, activists aren't there to go and say a bunch of stuff that people like. We are there to call things out and to make change. And yes, I said all white people, because all white people have access to the privileges that come out of colonialism and slavery.
You think the hundreds of thousands of people on food banks in this country, white people amongst them, are privileged?
They have more. They have more
privileges than you?
I did not say that. I did
not say that. A wealthy supermodel?
I did not. Please show me my bank account.
All right. We'll make a lot of money out of this. So let me ask you again. Do you think that white people on food banks in this country are more or less privileged than you?
I did not say that, Piers. I said...
You just implied that. You said that all white people have privilege.
Let me speak, please. I'm saying that if a person is at the food banks and they're white and there's their counterpart and that counterpart is black, that white person has more of a chance of getting out of that situation than their black counterpart.
Where's the evidence for that?
Because of white privilege.
Really?
White people have more access to housing,
so poor white
to credit.
People, just to clarify, poor white people have a better chance in Britain of getting out of their poverty than poor black people?
Yes.
All of them?
I feel like...
We just watched a Morgan Freeman video that went into how everybody's given an opportunity, everybody's giving a chance. Am I going to sit here and say, oh yeah, everybody is given the equal chance at survival and thriving, right? Am I going to sit here and say that? Duh, that's everybody already knows that, right? It's not new, right? But that doesn't help your argument because, you know, there are white people that are in poverty. There are Indian people that are in poverty. There are Chinese people that are in poverty. There are black people that are in poverty. There are all different types of people that are just like how there are black people that are wealthy. There are Chinese people that are wealthy. There are Indian people that are wealthy, right? It's both sides of the spectrum. People don't confuse your experience in life that you've had and take that and try to say everybody's going through it. Everybody is racist. Everybody is this. Everybody is that. That's my problem with the wokies. That's why this channel is called Woke Virus, because that's what it is, right? You're spreading that. You're spreading it, right? And again, I am not saying what they said to her it's wrong, and I agree with Piers. Absolutely. That is terrible. You should treat any human being with respect. Let's not get it messed up. You should treat every human being, whether you like them or not, or they're trans, or they're bi, or they're whatever they are, like a human being with respect. But this is the part of it that I can't agree with. Back to the video.
I'm up against the wall with you, Piers.
No, you're not. What you're up against is somebody challenging you on your public statements,
Yes.
which you've managed to turn into a massive, great story of your poor victimhood. And I'm telling you, now you're sitting here, that I think when you say all white people are racially violent, that is deeply offensive. And I think when you then clarify
I think it's
and say
deeply
that
offensive that
straight
history
white
is-
guys are basically all sexist, homophobes, and racially violent, I, as a straight white guy who's not remotely racist, get very offended by that.
And this is why there's a problem, because you take it personally.
There is a problem because I do take it personally.
It isn't a personal attack.
Of course it is.
It's not a personal attack, Piers.
You've attacked
and this is why
every
we're
white
not going to
person
get.
in
This
the
is why
world.
we aren't going to get anywhere with racism, because
Well, we won't when
people
you keep
with
inflaming
extreme
people.
privilege like yourself can't see past it and want to attack people when they talk about their lived experience. I am speaking.
We've all had lived experiences.
Well,
good,
obviously,
bad, and
because we're all
ugly.
living
All of
it,
us,
Piers.
right? I resent the idea that all white people in this modern era are automatically more privileged than all black people. I don't think that's right anymore. I think it's a complete mischaracterization of the work that's been done to counter racism around the world. And I think when you, as a very high-profile transgender model, get this amazing opportunity to have a platform at L'Oreal, the first thing you do, or I agree the timing
It was not
before.
the first thing
all
I
right,
did,
but
Piers.
the first thing that comes
The
out.
timeline was completely
Right, but this is a public
It came
Facebook
out because
post.
it was an attack on my character.
I don't
and it was taken out of context.
I get it. I just said that. But I don't understand how saying that all white people are racially violent helps anyone in the race debate. That's my point.
Okay, well, we need to speak about why the syllabus is so white, why we are not taught about the violence of slavery in schools, why we aren't taught about the violence of colonialism, why we're not taught about the violence of the empire. We are taught a whitewashed history. Kids are not taught about black history in the same way that they are taught about white history.
Why don't you say that?
Exactly.
I did.
Just did.
Yeah.
I
But that-
did.
but that's not what got the headlines.
No, because, Piers, it got
Had
taken
you
out of
focused-
context and
Yeah,
someone
but
screenshotted
Monroe,
it and sold a story to the Daily Mail.
Had you focused on why we should have more
Yeah, but see, this is where I actually agree with Piers. When you say something that like all white people are racist, but then you go and say, oh, it kind of reminds me of the last video that we saw with the one woman that tried to exclude white people from coming and see her show. But then she said, oh, but it's, but then she tried to band-aid it up. Like, oh, well, you can if you want, right? Like, just pick a side. Pick a side, right? What is it that are you saying that, because look, okay, cool. You can make the argument that, and by the way, I agree with that. Absolutely. In terms of school systems not treating, and I'm a person of color. You can see that, right? So clearly, and I'm for that. Teach us about our history. Absolutely. Do change the curriculum. Teach us about credit, about stuff we could use, right? I agree. But when you then go and say, oh, well, oh, actually, it's because all white people are racist, you just discredited everything you just said. You discredited everything you just said, right? You see the problem? Back to the video.
More historical knowledge.
Yes, I did,
of slavery,
and this is what I'm saying.
Like
the bookends got taken out.
Well, the bookends were so inflammatory and offensive. Of course, they got taken out.
No, they didn't get taken out.
And blaming the Daily Mail for what you said is ridiculous.
Well, of course you would say that, Piers, because you work for the Daily Mail.
Yes, I work for them, but if they were wrong, I would also say they're wrong.
Exactly.
I just quoted you back directly what you actually posted.
Piers, you didn't, because it was taken out of context. You missed out the 2 bits that
all
we
right,
haven't
all right,
seen.
Sure,
all right.
take out of context that all white people are guilty of racial violence.
All right. Gather round, okay? Here's my take of this particular video. I'm going to make it very short, sweet, and to the point. Had this woman or man or person just came out and said what it is that not they felt, but that was true, right? Not some BS like all white people are racist, right? Or even if she would have said, talked about the inequality or in school systems or something like that, and maybe backed it with some facts. I don't know, right? Some statistics, right? That maybe would have made it hard for Piers to come back at. Okay, cool. We can have a conversation. They're going to take you seriously. But then when you come up there with some nonsense like that, they're not going to take you seriously, right? Come on. This is what you get every single time. Every time, right? But anyway, enough about me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. You know I get active in the comments. I love the support that you guys have been showing to the channel recently. We're breaking records. We're setting records. We're doing amazing. All right, you guys are awesome. You guys are phenomenal. Make sure you kick the like button. Hit the subscribe button for more. Until next time, peace.